My name is Laura Round, Associate Director at Freud's, the communications company, and former Special Advisor for the UK government. I am also a host of the podcast, What Were You Thinking?, where I speak to politicians and opinion formers, but also business leaders about the experiences that have influenced them and have shaped their thinking. And of course, I would love for you to check that out if you were interested. But in this module, I'm going to give you an introduction to personal branding and why it is important. In the second episode, I'm going to share with you how to start building and developing your brand. And lastly, I'm going to share with you how you can incorporate advocacy such as environmental sustainability in your own personal brand and also why that is important. So before we get started, it is worth thinking what 3 words you would like to be associated with your personal brand. Now, for me, I struggle to think of 3 words, like I'm sure you do as well, but things that jump to mind are kindness, getting things done, being well connected, and also for the purpose of this, right, it is a passion of mine to be associated with sustainability and being passionate about sustainability and the environment. So, to start off, building a personal brand is a lot like building a house. Every interaction you have with a person is an opportunity to lay a new brick. It takes time, and it is imperative that the process is not rushed. It needs to be authentic, considered and not forced. And for most of us, what people think about us is very important. It helps us to confirm our strengths. It makes us reflect and realise our weaknesses and areas to improve on. And it helps us understand our personalities, and it can also help validate a part of our identity. However, it doesn't just help to define who we are. People's perception of us can also bring a whole new different world in terms of opportunity for personal growth, avenues to forward your aspirations, and platforms for you to campaign your advocacies. Lesson 1, opportunity. We all work our lives to achieve certain things that we aspire to. However, these remain dreams unless we find the means to make them a reality. Until opportunities present themselves, which in most cases they don't, you must continue to strive hard to do the best at what you do so you can get a step closer to them. Now, a big part in finding these opportunities depends on how you project your image to others. This is what we call your personal brand. It's a thing or two or a few that people associate with you when you are not around. How do people talk about you when you're not in the room? And naturally, people have a tendency to forward any opportunities to others who they think fit the description. Your dream job could just be an arm's length away for all you know. Your ideal boss could have been someone you just bumped into. Your personal brand can help with these opportunities. Lesson 2, expertise. The idea of people coming to you for help makes you feel you are reliable and trustworthy. It also means that you have the authority and know-how to give an opinion about something or even dictate how things can be done. Now, once you've built your personal brand, this stays with you and people will remember it. This links back to opportunities as well. If someone feels they are not capable or are not able to do something, they think of someone else, and that person could be you. And that is because you possess that expertise that people can tap into. You'll find yourself being referred to by colleagues or friends and introduce you to a network of like-minded individuals. You may be tasked to lead a project or represent a group, and you'll be answering questions or giving pieces of advice on certain topics. Your knowledge and skills make up your personal brand. You are what you know and can do. Lesson 3, attestation. When you have built your personal brand long enough or strong enough for people to notice, they will vouch for you. They will advocate for you in your absence when you're not in the room. And this is an important element of your brand, whereby you leave a mark on others despite you not being there. You spend time harnessing and practicing your skills, and you build meaningful relationships with people you encounter along the way so you can showcase your talents. And when people give you a sense of validation, you get to prove yourself every single day and feel great about yourself. And most people find this challenging because it does take time and effort to reach that point where people can guarantee others that you are the best person for the job at hand. It is critical, therefore, that you know the impact of your personal brand, because the number of opportunities you see now will have the potential of increasing exponentially. You will have created yourself as an authority in your own right for the right things that you excel in and provide guidance to those who need them. And lastly, it spreads the word out there about who you are and what you can do and contribute. Lecture 2, How to Develop Your Personal Brand. Introduction. How do you start building and developing your brand? How do you become competitive? How do you stay relevant? How do you stand out? These are but a few of the hows in personal brand development, and there is not a dummy guide to building your brand, but the following may be helpful. Lesson 1. All of us might have a favourite hobby or a preferred sport or a talent that we've always known as we were growing up. Our friends and family are also aware of them, and in one way or another, they felt proud of us because of these. Now, your talents and hobbies can easily be your strength. The first step is then to know what your abilities and talents are and acknowledging that you have them in the first place. So then you can hone them and incorporate them into the kind of brand you want to build for yourself. So you make do with what you have first, then those that you don't. Being clear about your brand and committing yourself to it is the next step in developing. You are real because your brand is clear. Lesson 2. Once you know what you want to be known for, define your target audience. Why do you want to project yourself as this or that? Because others will like what they see, of course. Your next step is finding out who those others are. So they can be your core support team. They can start within your group of friends who relate to you, or a group of individuals in a certain field, or just random people who happen to have learned about your work and got hooked on it. They can become a follower base, your supporters, your number one fan. Your personal brand relies on these individuals as well in terms of reach and building your presence. So they need to be consistently engaged so they can continue to see what they saw in you from the beginning, enough for them to stay with you until the end. Now, your target audience do not only mean those who will follow your lead, these are also the people who you draw strengths from and look up to. Just because you already know that you are good at what you're good at, and you have people who believe in you, learning doesn't stop for you, right? So look for mentors and coaches, and you will be pleasantly surprised, I promise, how many people are very happy to impart and share their knowledge with others, especially if that gives them a sense of purpose. So make sure to maximize your time with your mentors as well, because it is a very valuable source. Lesson 3. And just as we discussed about building your presence, there are several different ways to do that. Firstly, you can network. A lot of people underestimate the power of networking and attracting similar people who see your vision. In the beginning, we talked about opportunities. Now, your network presents for you your opportunity. Your network introduces you to the right people, and it brings you to the right places at the right time. Secondly, build an online presence, but know that your brand is not just online. Social media platforms are very popular places for employers and businesses to get to have a real sense of the kind of person that you are. So if what you project online matches their expectations, they will get in touch with you. Now, at first, maybe just get to know you better, but this could open the door to future opportunity. And so LinkedIn in particular is the sort of platform that jumps to mind to me here. Thirdly, innovate your brand. Don't settle for less. You may find yourself very comfortable with what you have in terms of your personal brand. However, there's always room to reinvent yourself. Keep up with the current trends, master your core skills, and know new ones you can add. When you innovate, you not only keep up with the world, you also evolve. And here, if you remember from the first lesson, the 3 words that I challenged you to think of how you want to be thought of. Now, keep those words in mind when you're looking to innovate your brand. You will need all the help available to develop your personal brand, and whilst you already know a few of them, it is very important to have that commitment to yourself and to the brand that you are creating. You must believe in your potential for others to see it. Now, your elevator pitch summarizes your essence. You create your pitch in such a way that it reflects your values, your passions, your purpose, and your impact. Your elevator pitch is something you'll anchor in the development of your personal brand. Lecture 3, adding environmental sustainability as part of your personal brand. The revolution to making the planet a more livable place to live has already started. There is no better tomorrow to look forward to than having the assurance that we will create healthier communities, produce cleaner air, and utilise our resources efficiently. And this makes up the whole idea of environmental sustainability. When you have built your personal brand and have already gained people's trust and confidence, you have a platform to make a difference. So what better way to make use of that platform than to present advocacy such as environmental sustainability? It provides you a sense of purpose because you know you are working on something that benefits the greater good, and you are doing something great for humanity. Lesson 1. A lot of young people have already joined the movement. They have long realised that they will be inheriting the world that is being built right now, and so it is imperative that they take part in ensuring that they see a better tomorrow for themselves, for their children, and for their children's children. So you don't just start from within because you can have the influence. Your task is to maximise that influence. You can get the people around you to follow suit and join you in your mission to promoting environmental stewardship. Lesson 2. Educate yourself around the concept of environmental sustainability, what it entails, why it is important, and how it affects you and the people around you. From a health standpoint to overall well-being and quality of life, these are the things that young people should start talking about. We are facilitating growth for a new breed of more responsible young people. You have all the tools at your fingertips and you are stronger. You have the power to be better than your predecessors. Lesson 3. Be proactive and look for ways that you can contribute to the cause. Together with your supporters and followers, you can make something big, something you can call your own and be proud of. And look out for organisations, for example, with the same vision for the future. Make yourself available and let your brand bring out the best in you. Allow your brand to leave a mark in making the world a better place to live in. The fight for a sustainable environment is a collective effort. We do not leave it alone to the governments who have a means to create policies and legislation. We do not just entrust it to green organisations and bodies that create various programmes to tackle environmental issues. You can do your part as well in protecting your planet by engaging in your community or by running your own initiative. You can change the world, and your personal brand is key in making that happen.
Hi there! We hope you liked this episode. For more information and resources about the ideas and tips discussed in this episode, check out the worksheet dedicated to support your changemaker journey. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on social media or visit youthforaplanet.com. See you in the next video!